Both issues, there are no doubt there is a risk of there is a challenge to neutrality, and at the same time, if you accept it, then perhaps you will not get even this quality of judges. If you make it that it is the judge must be posted out, many people will not come.
So Justice Kang, you defending both the judges and the lawyers?
No, I am not saying. I am saying, you see, those days when I became a judge, 5 of my dependent relations had done law. My son himself had done law, but I thought that they should not practice here. But that is a very hackneyed thought. I don't know. It's a very difficult subject actually, and the person who has to become corrupt or something, even if his relations are not there, he will do that. He will fall. So, but still there is a point in that, because sometimes when many people abuse it, then confidence in judiciary, there is a risk of.
I'm sure Anupam has a view on this, but this is now time for a short break. We will return shortly to discuss whether the proposed bill is the way forward.
In a state of mind which doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in destiny.
I don't believe in any ritual. I don't need the idea of God.
This is quite the perspective of UG Krishnamurti.
This is what I've understood. He actually tore all your perspective and gave you no perspective.
Was it a dangerous situation? I mean, suddenly he was almost godless. I mean,
he was the most dangerous man I've met in my life.
मेरे पास है आई कंट्रोल प्लस। इसके चिल फीचर के साथ पिछले 7 दिनों के कोई भी टीवी प्रोग्राम्स में जब चाहे देख सकती हूँ। ना तो रिकॉर्डिंग का झंझट और ना ही कोई तंग करने वाली ब्रेक्स का।
आई कंट्रोल प्लस, इंडिया's largest IPTV network.
It has been a long wait for Ruchika's friends and family. The authorities claim that they're taking the necessary steps, but are they really enough?
Users must take essential safeguards. Milkfed has plans to hike the price of Veka milk by ₹1 per litre.
This is Gupta Singh Cheena, Sanjay Mehta, Pawan Tiwari, Day and Night News, Bantla.
Mohali, Chandigarh.
in a state of mind which doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in destiny.
I don't believe in any ritual. I don't need the idea of God.
This is quite the perspective of UG Krishnamurti.
This is what I've understood. He actually tore all your perspective and gave you no perspective.
Was it a dangerous situation? I mean, suddenly he was almost godless. I mean,
he was the most dangerous man I've met in my life.
in a state of mind which doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in destiny.
I don't believe in any ritual. I don't need the idea of God.
This is quite the perspective of UG Krishnamurti.
This is what I've understood. He actually tore all your perspective and gave you no perspective.
Was it a dangerous situation? I mean, suddenly he was almost godless. I mean,
he was the most dangerous man I've met in my life.
Welcome back again. Before we went into the break, we were discussing about the in-house accountability. Will the proposed Judicial Standards and Accountability Bill help improve our ailing judiciary? We continue with our discussion. We continue with this discussion with our esteemed guests, Mr. Anupam Gupta, Mr. Agarwal, Mr. Cheema, and we are also joined with Justice Kang from Chandigarh. My question to you, sir. Whether the proposed Judicial Standards and Accountability Bill is a major step forward from the existing Judges Inquiry Act?
Well, I will say it's a step forward. Major I would not be able to call it.
Okay.
Of course it's a step forward because the present system, as we have seen, is a total failure. There are so many inbuilt restrictions which are unsurmountable, and nobody will be able to ever take care of them, each one of them. This is definitely a step forward. Maybe more can be done, but this is definitely an attempt which must be put to use, and not only put to use, given a fair trial. Given a fair trial, and the trial itself will tell us as to what can be better. What can be derived better out of it, what can be the improvements in it, and what can be changes made in it. But definitely, this would be a step which would definitely restore the credibility of judiciary. Lost it is. Mr. Cheema was right in pointing out that to a great extent lost. Maybe because of kin, maybe not because of kin, otherwise. Maybe because of the material that we have, and maybe because of the process of bringing in the material, namely the quality of judges, their integrity, their qualitative appreciation of evidence, or their legal acumen, and so many things of the kind. But this would definitely help improve the judiciary in the eyes of a man common who is the buyer of judicial system, I would use the expression, buyer of judicial services. This would be definitely one.
So, Anupam Gupta, now Mr. Agarwal says that this is a step forward but not a major step. What would you say on the draft of the bill?
You will forgive me for my cynicism, but I have not the least hope that any such bill will ever come to be passed by Parliament. We have been hearing of it for the last several years. Every law minister, Mr. Bhadwaj, before him Mr. Jaitley, now Mr. Varappa Moily, keeps talking about it. Some kind of very convenient and cosmetic kite flying is done to pacify public opinion, raise hopes, and then the bill and the processes of discussion of the bill are completely internalized.
So is the problem with the law ministers, or does the problem lie elsewhere?
The problem lies definitely with the law ministers, but it also lies with lack of courage. And I beg to be forgiven for saying so, even at the level of the Prime Minister. No government, whether the UPA government or the BJP government, wishes to antagonize the judiciary, headed by the Chief Justice of India for the time being. Chief Justice R.C. Lohati was instrumental in spiking the bill earlier. I do not know the response or the perception of the present Chief Justice of India, but the fear of antagonizing the judiciary for the time being compels every government to be different.
But what about the clauses, the draft of the bill?
Without going into the nitty-gritty of the bill, the concept or the idea or the ideal of accountability is highly welcome. So far specifics are concerned, it's a mixed baggage. It must, however, be put into the public domain. The discussion about it, the pros and cons of the bill, even adverse judicial reaction to it, must be debated in the public domain. And it is this internalization of the debate, this sweeping the debate under the carpet as it were, that disturbs me.
Mr. Cheema, now Anupam Gupta says that this should go into, the discussion should go into the public domain.
I think I would perfectly agree. You see, the presumption that we had, or the faith that we had in the insularity of judiciary, has to undergo a sea change. We are living in times when 3 former High Court judges are being prosecuted in UP in that provident fund scam. We have other judges facing this. With the expansion of numbers, we must apply the same yardstick of rule of law to them. Now the dilemma is very interesting. If the bill is made in a way that it offends no one, it becomes innocuous. If it is made really having teeth, it becomes unpalatable to the powers that be. I believe it must be thrown to the public at large, clause by clause. Going back to the nitty-gritty of this bill, it is also a very delicate balance, making it nearly innocuous. It's a code of conduct. Some of the clauses are like a club's norms. You will not fight election to a club or a society. You will not go close to a lawyer. Better left unwritten. The way outs provided are: you are warned, you are cautioned, you may be taken off work, which obviously means for a short while. I believe there should be brainstorming sessions and debate on this, and this can be delayed no longer.
Now, since we are talking about the specifics, the bill makes a mention of National Judicial Oversight Committee. Do you think that's something which will help?
That's not a bad idea. That is, if you see the composition proposed, is the Vice President of the Rajya Sabha, the CJI, Chief Justice of a High Court, two eminent jurists. I think the fault is elsewhere. Even a Human Rights Commission has a regular investigating wing. They need an investigation wing positively if they want to be effective, because the allegations would require kind of probe which they cannot conduct themselves. So I think in order to have teeth, in order to become effective, this as a first step should be thrown open to public and very widely debated.
Justice Kang, I would like to ask you that will the proposed bill and its provisions bring about the desired reforms, or there is something else which could be done about it?
I think this is the right step. One basic difficulty actually is that while retaining their independence, how do we discipline the judges? Because the process of impeachment is the last step, and we have seen, our experience is that it cannot be done. So instead of just wringing your hands and saying we can't do anything, lesser is better than nothing. So what I have just read it today itself. I have in my mind that the committees are welcome. There can be, instead of having the committees from the same High Court, I think judges from different High Courts should man the committees in different High Courts, so that there is no peer pressure or sometimes it becomes very difficult to act against a friend, and that it ends only with the warning. So this amendment perhaps can be suggested.
That looks like Justice Kang, I think that looks like a very valid suggestion. Now, the other thing you mentioned about the impeachment. Now, even in the earlier system and the proposed system, impeachment remains the last resort. Now, do you think the impeachment process, as mentioned in the Constitution, needs to be made simpler?
I think so. I think so.
As of now, you require too much of a kind of a consensus amongst the members of the parliament.
Even at the risk of that some people, maybe injustice may be done to some judges, some respondents, I will say. The system should be more effective. This is no system actually. It is not practical. So there should be, impeachment should be there, and it should be simpler method.
Mr. Cheema, in the entire oversight process, the investigation agencies like CBI and Vigilance, they have been kept out, and it is only the judiciary investigating the judiciary. Is that right?
Well, I think what I was thinking of, like why I gave the illustration of the Human Rights Commission, these can have an investigation wing of their own. There's no need to bring in the formal police. They can be provided expertise of those people, because actually it should be these people in the committees who should set the norms, but they should have the assistance of people who know what investigation is, rather than they are handing it over to one of the specific agencies, which we again know are open to various kinds of accusations and whose writ is run there. So therefore, what I was suggesting was we provide them with a wing of investigation. Like we now know Justice Dinakaran's issue. What it really requires is an investigation at the ground level. For that, they should have a kind of wherewithal, a kind of machinery which we provide.
But that again, Mr. Cheema, would be judiciary investigating the judiciary with the help of some other agencies.
No,